In the history of modern music, few creative partnerships have rivaled the power of the collaboration between Paul McCartney and John Lennon. As the core of the Beatles, they didn't just write hit songs, they redefined the very standards of pop music in the 20th century. Yet, like many great creative relationships, their journey was far from smooth. As time went on, particularly toward the late 1960s, their differences in taste became increasingly apparent. Lennon gravitated toward a raw, more experimental and deeply personal approach, while McCartney often explored melodies that were more polished, structured, and occasionally theatrical. Lennon even once dismissed some of McCartney's work as granny music, a sharp critique of what he saw as Paul's overly light style. Despite this, there was a period when the two were completely aligned in vision. One of the most fascinating moments from that era came when McCartney introduced a song that Lennon immediately approved, without debate. That song was Paperback Writer. Around 1965 to 1966, the Beatles were at a major turning point in their career. After dominating the world with catchy, accessible pop songs, they began to feel the need to push beyond those boundaries. Albums like Rubber Soul and especially Revolver marked a significant shift, not only musically, but also in lyrical depth. Experimentation became the key word. They began playing with unconventional song structures, new recording techniques, and themes that extended far beyond teenage love. And yet, amid all this change, one thing remained constant: the Lennon-McCartney dynamic at the center of the band's creativity. Paperback Writer was not a typical love song. In fact, it wasn't about love at all. The idea came when McCartney wanted to write something different. He was inspired to create a song from the perspective of a writer pleading with a publisher to accept his manuscript, a concept that felt quite unusual in the pop landscape at the time. What makes the story even more compelling is how the song was written. McCartney composed the lyrics directly in front of Lennon, almost like writing a letter in real time. He pieced together sentences, searched for rhymes, and built the narrative spontaneously. Lennon, watching the process, said very little. He simply smiled, and then offered a short but meaningful response. "Yes, that's it. That'll do." For McCartney, it was a powerful form of validation. In a creative partnership often filled with long discussions, critiques, and even arguments, such instant approval was rare. Released in 1966, Paperback Writer quickly became a major hit, reaching the top of the charts in multiple countries. But beyond its commercial success, the song marked a step forward in the Beatles' musical evolution. A more prominent and aggressive bass line showcasing McCartney's growing confidence as a player. Thicker, more complex vocal harmonies, creating a richer sonic texture. A narrative lyrical approach that helped open the door to non-traditional themes in pop music. The recording process at EMI Studios, Abbey Road, also reflected their experimental spirit. With the help of their production team, the Beatles began pushing the limits of studio technology, including the use of compression to make the bass sound heavier than industry standards at the time. Paperback Writer is often seen as a bridge between the Beatles' early era of straightforward pop songs and their later more artistic and experimental phase. As the late 1960s approached, the relationship between Lennon and McCartney would face increasing strain. Differences in vision, industry pressures, and personal dynamics created a growing distance between them. But the story behind Paperback Writer reveals another side of that relationship. Beneath all the differences was a strong foundation, a deep mutual respect as songwriters. McCartney himself, many years later, continued to remember Lennon as an extraordinary collaborator, not only because of his talent, but because of his sharp creative instincts, including his ability to recognize a great idea instantly. More than 5 decades after its release, Paperback Writer remains an essential part of the Beatles' catalog. It's not just a song about a writer sending a letter, it's a symbol of a creative moment that was honest, spontaneous, and built on trust. Within it, we see how two towering figures, despite all their differences, could still meet at the same point. recognizing when an idea simply works. And perhaps, in a constantly evolving music world, that is the most important lesson of all. That behind every great song, there is often a simple moment, a smile, a nod, and a short sentence. Yes, that's it.